kitchen to have a relaxed meal.
What were you
That's
going to say?
huge. Hi, back again.
What were we going to say?
Then he just cuts it off and not like, Karen, do you have any final words? Here's a big thing that has helped a lot of my...
Well, we'll give it a little... This could be a separate podcast.
Okay.
Give it a little preface here.
So the relaxed meal.
Let me start off.
Okay.
What's up, guys? Anthony Minetti here, Project My Life. We're doing an Ask Minetti marathon podcast series here on our way to West Islip or East Islip.
I don't know, whatever the fuck it is in Long Island. Actually, we're heading to Babylon to a friend's house because that's where we're staying for the weekend, and then we're going to East Islip.
TJ. Anyway, we're going to the WNBF World Bodybuilding Championships. And Karen will be the judge. She's really pumped about sitting on that judging panel for 19 hours tomorrow. I know she is fucking jazzed up. 360 competitors.
I think my eyes might actually fall out of my head tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be organized chaos in a good way, guys.
Yeah.
But anyhow, we just did a podcast about making sure you stay consistent through the weekend. The weekend counts with in terms of losing weight and looking to maintain a comfortable body, and whatever that means for you, healthy body, happy with how you look and feel. And that's a blanketed statement because everybody has their own perfect body and everybody has their own perfect, how they should be feeling or how they want to be feeling. But I apparently talked too much and I cut Karen off and I didn't let her finish her statement. So we're going to make another podcast because it's all good stuff. And we're going to talk about when we, what, Karen?
Have a relaxed meal?
Have a relaxed meal.
We talked about...
The question could be, when am I allowed... What can the question be with that? What can we make this topic?
Well, how do you eat for the day when you know you're going to have a relaxed meal?
Well, what is a relaxed meal?
So a relaxed meal is a meal that you're replacing an existing meal with maybe a little small indulgence.
You want to call it a cheat meal?
No!
Well,
cheating is such a
But people can relate to a cheat meal.
Cheat meal, right? But the word cheat is such a negative thing, right? Like, I'm cheating on a test, you're cheating on your partner, you're cheating, the government, I don't know, whatever, right? That's such a bad thing. A small indulgence of food and a meal that you want to, have a treat meal, right, is what we call relaxing. Because you're allowing your mind to relax from not being so I gotta macro this out. And you're also giving your body a chance to take in a little bit more food, so it has to work a little bit harder to burn it, right? Now that you're in a good routine. And you're just chilling out for a little bit. You're eating something that maybe you can't fit in your macros or into your weekly plan, but you want to have a little something, right? I haven't had pizza in 4 weeks, but I can't eat pizza because I'm trying to lose weight. Yeah, you can. Use it during your relaxed meal. Have 1 or 2 slices and then move on.
The problem with all this stuff is the discipline and the portion control, and having just 2 slices of pizza or having just 1 slice of pizza, and knowing when your trigger foods are knowing what they are, and knowing when to have them, and and that's it. Go ahead, Karen.
So a relaxed meal, once you get into a good groove, and I think in the beginning, maybe no relaxed meals for 2 or 3 weeks until you're really in good habits.
Boot camp. You need to reset yourself.
Yeah, and also force yourself into that discipline. And then once you start creating that discipline, you're like, all right, I can allow myself 1 small indulgent meal a week, right? How that looks is, I would give it 6-7 days in between each. So maybe it's every Saturday or Friday, or if you are off during the week on a Wednesday, maybe it's a Wednesday and then you go again till next week without one. You get, just once a week. So basically what's going to happen is your food intake is going to be a little bit more for that day because it's an overage of food. It's not a binge. It's not an all-day eating fest. It's a one and done type of thing. 1 meal, move on. What I always recommend is if it is a dinner that you're going to, let's say you and your spouse or you and your friends want to get together for drinks and dinner, make that your relaxed meal. It takes a lot of the angst away of oh my God, I have to restrict myself, but I'm with my friends and I want to have some drinks, and just allow it to be a relaxed meal. There are things you can do during the day to compensate for that so you're not overdoing everything. One of the things is maybe you work out that morning, You know, get some extra blood flow, get some calories, you know, cycle through that glycogen, those calories. And then what I would say is don't skip any meals. You don't want to go into a relaxed meal really hungry, because then you're going to overeat even when you're allowed to indulge a little bit. So you still want to keep the frequency of your meals coming in, but maybe you want to tighten them up a little bit more. So for example, if by the time you get to dinner, you're already normally, you know, during the week or something, you're at about 90% of your fat intake. Maybe on this day, you bring that fat intake down to about 60% to compensate for a little overage during the dinner. So if your snack, you know, if your midday snack, the one right before dinner, is usually 2 tablespoons of peanut butter and an apple, maybe that day you have a protein shake instead. So you're not eating all this fat and then going into a meal that's going to give you a lot more food. So there's little things you could do to cut back during the day on your volume to compensate for that meal also. Yeah.
I think the biggest thing with all of this stuff is people have a unhealthy relationship with food.
100%.
And it's either it's an extreme, either all or nothing mentality when it comes to eating all the foods to eating none of the foods, and creating instability in your blood sugar and
your mindset too.
And your mindset 100%.
That misery of restriction all the time.
Right.
So here's the thing, we give you permission to have that relaxed meal once a week. And sometimes just having that permission and knowing that it's a one and done type of deal, eat it guilt-free. The next meal or the next day, you are right back on your plan as if nothing ever happened. And the quicker you pull that in, those relaxed meals can actually be really beneficial in your weight loss. And also your mind, because you're eating things that you generally enjoy. And not having that constant restricted feeling.
And it's not forever. The better you get at this, the more you'll be able to have those meals. Karen and I, when we go on vacation, we have more than one relaxed meal. And we have sometimes during the week, normally we'll have one or two, maybe 2 or 3 relaxed meals throughout the week. And we don't gain weight because we know how to manipulate our day around it. And we know that a relaxed meal is not permission to binge, or it's not, and you'll get better at looking at the plate going, wow, that's a little bit, you know, that's an overindulgence. Cool, this is my relaxed meal. Or, damn, I just binged my face off, and that's not, you know, what I planned to do. But be done with it, let it go. Don't hang on to the guilt and the, you know, the judgment of yourself. Because I've done it.
We've all done it.
You suck. Why don't you have discipline? At one point, I still may get discipline tattooed on my arm, because I think that's such an important thing with all this in life, is control and discipline. And the more you control your emotions, the more you control your actions. And it comes from, you know, being aware. And that's really, you know, a lot of it. Because I would beat myself up for not having discipline, and then I would say, fuck it, let me just go bananas and really self-sabotage everything. And now you're now
you've taken 10 steps back instead of not taking any back at
right.
all. And then you develop that unhealthy relationship.
And then there's a vicious cycle. Physiologically, when your body has that much food coming into it, it requires, you almost become dependent on that food, because as high as your blood sugar goes, your blood sugar crashes. So now if you're in the middle of a binge and you have all this food, now you're going on this roller coaster blood sugar thing up and down, and you're going to eat way more than you have to, and you're going to be putting yourself, way steps behind. But it's about 9 minutes right now. Believe in yourself, trust the process, and practice patience. Final words, Karen. I'll let you finish up today because you say that I never let you finish. Go ahead.
That's it. I'm fine. I got my thing out. Hashtag Ask Minetti if you have any specific questions or topics you want to hear about. Also, if you find value in this, please like, share, and comment. Subscribe to our channel, YouTube. It's Project My Life. And if you know of a friend or family member who's struggling, share this podcast with them. Maybe they can find value and overcome what they're going through. Thanks, guys.
Peace.